Hello, everyone, and welcome to 10-4 Broadcasting. Tonight, we are here with the Virtual Racing Association for the Shark Photography 80 right here at Iowa. And Will, you thought last week was exciting, and you thought the week before that was exciting. Tonight's going to be just as exciting here at Iowa.
Oh yeah, Tim, it is on and popping here at Iowa. I was just enjoying some of that delicious corn they have outside of the racetrack here. We had a first-time winner, a debut winner last week in Johnny Eckerd, and I can only imagine what's going to happen tonight here in the Shark Photography 80. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen on the track here. As you're looking at qualifying taking place right now, there's some different names at the top of this grid so far.
Yeah, different and familiar. Chris Gutierrez in second, Dallas Myhand in third, Brian uh, Ban- uh, Bianchi in fourth, Nathaniel Cherry in fifth. And Brian was having a great race last week uh, before he got caught up in a late race accident. And now, last week's winner just went to the top of the charts in Johnny Eckert. Uh, I expect to see much of what we saw last week out of these two. Caden Tufts and Johnny Eckert were neck and neck the entire race.
Yeah, me too, Tim. We saw Caden Tufts have a tough restart there at the end. Had to come all the way, I believe, from about 10th or ninth position. Did his best to try to climb back up inside the top five, get inside the top three. Just didn't have enough to make it three in a row here in the Virtual Racing Association. But what a debut it was for Johnny Eckert there. And that number 90 machine just came out, showed his stuff, showed what he can do on the track. But Tim, taking a look at the grid so far here tonight, we're looking at a few names. I'm excited to see what they can do here tonight at Iowa, where we're not at the Milwaukee Mile anymore. We're looking at Mike Kaczynski right there. Kai Kynan, there we go. I got it right. Kynan Jones is racing tonight as well. He only finished 1 point off of Caden
Man,
Tufts last year in this series. So a lot of names to kind of keep your eye out. Seth Ross has been running really good in this series as well. So a lot of names in the mix so far this season, Tim, and it's a wide open league this year.
it really is, and it's really exciting to see uh, this many guys come out every Tuesday night for VRA and put on a show. We've got uh, three wide TV broadcaster Carlos out there on the track right now. We're looking at him. Just went across for his second lap. Looks like it was he matched the same time that he already laid down, 23.43. Other guys we got out there, we got Cody McLean, Adam Peeler, who last week just kept finding the bad accidents, unfortunately, because they do get one fast repair, so you don't want to use that too early.
No, not at all, Tim. You just want to keep rocking and rolling here at Iowa. See what you can do. But as we saw so far this season in these modifieds, once you get kind of tangled up early, you have a little bit of damage on the race car because we know there's going to be cautions in this series due to the sensitivities of this race car, the way these corners are. You still have an opportunity at the end if you can get that fast repair done early. But just as you mentioned, if you wait too late to use that, it's probably going to be over for you.
Yeah, and you don't want to use it too late or too early. I mean, that's the hardest part is deciding what wreck was bad enough to have to use it. Because last week, we saw quite a few different drivers go airborne, flip over, blow some engines. Um, so that could really mess up your day.
Definitely, Tim. As we're now locked and loaded with that starting grid here, Tim, and if you're going to run the folks at home through who's starting on the top 10 here in the Virtual Racing Association.
We've got our first time winner last week. I almost want to say first time caller, long time listener. Uh, Johnny Eckert won last week on the pole up here at Iowa. We got Caden Tufts in second, our points leader. Third is Chris Gutierrez, who's had a great season thus far. Dallas Myhand in fourth. Ethan uh, Mo- Makwa I think that's what it is. I need to talk to him and figure that out. In fifth, Brian Bianchi in sixth, Nathaniel Cherry in seventh, Brent Jones in eighth, EJ Marshall in ninth, and Jordan Tarble is going to round out your top 10.
Yes, sir. And that's going to be the top 10 here for Iowa Speedway, folks, as we're just awaiting for that green flag to drop. Take a look at some of the drivers that didn't make the top 10. You'll see those names rotate there on that grid right there. We're looking at Jones in 11th, Conrad in 12th, Seth Rawls in 13th. You got another Conrad in the mix at 14th. Gotta wait for that thing to spin around one more time here, folks, on that grid. Taking a look there, Tim, there's a few drivers, 15th is McLean. You got Kaczynski right there in 16th. A few of those names that have really ran strong here in the first couple races of the season. Carlos Acosta finished second last week, so a lot of work for those boys to do there at the tail end of this pack. But with the way these races go, I'm sure it doesn't really matter where you start in the race, just where you finish.
Yeah, and there's quite a few guys looking at points here tonight. Let me see if I can't pull those bad boys up. Where did I see it last time? Sorry, I got all these notes and things everywhere, and I gotta. Here we go. All right, Caden Tufts, of course, is your leader. Behind him, Seth Rawls in second place, 20 points back. Alex Keaton in third, 25 back. Ethan in fourth, 33 back. Nathaniel Cherry is in fifth. And Mike Kaczynski is sitting P7 right now. He gained 3 spots after last week's race. I believe he finished P4.
Yeah, but he's been one of the most consistent drivers so far, Tim, in the season. Just hasn't broken through just yet to get that finish. I believe he finished in the podium the first race of the season, but just hasn't gotten that breakthrough performance that we're used to seeing out of Mike Kaczynski. But it could happen here tonight at Iowa, folks, as we're awaiting that green flag to drop. The pace cars leading around the track right now. We're just about to go green here in the Shark Photography 80. If you haven't checked out Shark Photography, man, they have the most crystal clear photos that you can imagine, more crystal clear than the oceans in Bermuda. You got to go check out that crystal clear photography done by Shark Photography. Man, the sim racing photos don't get any better than that. As we're coming around corner number 4 right now, and the pace car is going to peel off. We're about to get this thing on and popping here in Iowa.
Man, this is going to be a quick turn from the pace car, and we are going to be green flag here at Iowa for the Shark Photography 80. We need to come up with a name for our flagman, but look, neck and neck. I expected this from these two. Hot off, the corner, and already just side by side coming through turns 1 and 2 and down the backstretch, and still side by side. And it looks like Eckert's going to edge him just a little bit, and he's going to do the crossover as they head down towards the start-finish line.
Yeah, things are basically picking up where they left off last week here, Tim. These two get to battle it out on the start here. As you see, Caden Tufts and Johnny Eckert are 1-2 side-by-side, still around corner number 2 down the backstretch right now. They're still side-by-side right now down into 3 to see if anyone wants to get separation so far right now. Looks like Caden Tufts got a little bit more momentum on that bottom side lane as they cross the start-finish line here on lap 2.
And you just saw Johnny Eckert lead that lap again, all because he was holding that outside lane, able to carry that momentum past him through the front stretch. And you'll see that a lot of times at different racetracks, but that right there was a great pass. If that was for the last lap, it would have been wild. He's going to do it again right here as they come down the front stretch.
Yeah, no separation at all yet, Tim, as they're coming down into 1 right now. Still Caden Tufts, Johnny Eckert, 1-2 side by side around this racetrack, heading down the backstretch. No separation from the two just yet. They keep inching close to one another there as they're going down into 3. You're getting a look from Gutierrez right there in the 3rd position if you're watching live on Ted Ford Broadcasting. You see a big move from Johnny Eckert right there, trying to use that backdraft to have a caution on the track, Tim.
Man, these two are just putting on a show. Let's see if we can't see. Looks like it was Mike Kaczynski in that number 30, along with Matt Moria. Morale, yeah. I'm so sorry with these names, guys. I will get that figured out. We're watching here. Oh, and he gets spun by the 5 and just nowhere for the 38 to go.
And knowing the type of driver that Mike is, a skilled driver at that, he is not going to be happy with the move right there. He's going to be a little toasty inside of that machine after seeing that replay of the 5, just getting on that back tire there and sending him up the track on the corner number 4. I think it's a little bit too early for aggressive driving like that, Tim. But hey, this is the modifieds. You want to get up front as fast as you can. And in that instance, it was just you touch these tires in these race cars, and there's really nothing you can do.
That's unfortunate, though, for Mike. I think he may have to use that fast repair faster than he wanted to. EJ Marshall coming down pit road along with Alex Keaton in that number 9. Looking to see here, it looks like that's the only 3 drivers who came down pit road. Let's see if we can't get a quick word with Mike. Hey, Mike, it's Tim and Will up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
How bad is the damage?
Well, I was lucky enough to have that quick repair, but other than that, my wheel was upside down to go straight.
Oh man, and it didn't even look like that hard of a hit. But you know, these vehicles, when you come down, when these tires get hit, it just it really messes things up.
Oh yeah, for sure. It didn't feel like I even touched the front. The most damage I got hit was when, I guess from my point of view, was when the car was on my roof.
Yeah, and I think what happens is, you know, his tire hit your tire. Well, actually, no, he hit your back tire, so that would have made no sense to the front tire. Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, you're a veteran, Tim.
Listen, my eyes are deceiving me.
Hamilton House Racing doesn't go that far.
Oh man, throwing it back now.
Oh yeah. Seeing as I'm here, I just want to make an announcement. Going forward, XPM will have a tribute type of scheme for VRA and any leagues going forward for anybody that has like heart attacks. Unfortunately, Chris had a heart attack this morning and he is out for a couple days.
Oh
Who knows,
man.
might
Oh
be more.
man.
Oh
Wow.
gosh.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Mike. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with Chris. We hope him a speedy recovery to get back out here and race, because we know he's a heck of a driver and he's a great guy. So we will really be thinking about him.
Definitely. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks,
Yes,
Mike.
sir. Speaking of Chris Edwards, a member of the XPM racing team there, run by Mike Kaczynski, and we've seen Chris a few times here in this series. I believe I've seen Chris in the other series that I do broadcasting for as well, Tim. So, an overall great guy, a great driver on the track as well. So, all of our thoughts and prayers are with Chris right now. And if we know the type of driver he is and the type of guy he is, he'll pull through this even stronger there, Tim.
Yeah, and I mean, last week he was going to have a really good finish. He just got caught up in a late wreck, but back to green here. We will miss Chris on the track, and we can't wait for him to get back out here. As Caden got a great start there. I mean, you and I both know that Caden is probably one of the best guys on these restarts. And that's the one guy I would not want to be leading when the caution comes out.
No, that was a huge restart there, Tim, as we're going to cross the line here on lap number 10, hitting double digits here at Iowa. With that restart there now, it allows him to keep hitting that inside lane, not having to worry about Johnny Eckert on the outside. I just see Johnny Eckert's going to try that inside lane as well as they head down the backstretch. With that ability there, Tim, kind of takes a little bit of pressure off his shoulders, allows him to just get free and clear up there like the fields up in Canada where he's from. As you see, they're going across the line here at lap 11. Johnny Eckert's now going to have to put in some work to catch Caden as they head down into around 2.
But, you know, after watching Johnny last week, he's the kind of guy I feel like that he likes when somebody's in front of him, because then he's got a goal, you know, track that guy down, get around him, and make it interesting. And I'm watching his steering wheel here coming down the front stretch, heading into the corner. He seems like he's just a tad loose in the center of the corner, just because he's got a, I don't know if you can hear it. I don't think my sound comes through to you, what I hear, but he's letting off here, getting back in the gas, letting off again, and then getting back in the gas again. You want to be able to hit that corner at the perfect position where you are letting off and getting straight back into that gas and not letting off again for that second time.
Yeah, maybe, Tim, we could take an onboard ride with Kynan there, our in-race reporter, on his inboard camera and maybe talk to his radio if we can get him on the radio there. Kynan, you got a copy?
Yep, I do. Sorry
Hey,
about
man.
that.
No, you're right. We were just talking about how we were taking a ride on board with Johnny Eckert there, how to take these corners. Me and you were talking off air to start this race about how tough this track is. Kind of take us through what you have to do around this track here at Iowa, and what's your strategy so far?
Right now, my strategy is just to take it easy, not really get involved in anything. With modifieds, it's more of a, if you can survive, you're in it for a chance of a good result, but you just really want to be lifting in the corners. You don't want to be anywhere near the brakes. On the race start, I was very careful and touched the brakes multiple times, and it made me lose 6 positions. So right now, just trying to take it easy and just, it's a fine point on how much can you lift, but also be able to carry the speed without also burning the tires up. So now that we've had some green flag running, I'd say it's going to get very interesting with tires.
Yeah, definitely. And as we're taking an on-board ride now with Kynan Jones, who finished second in this series last year, to this man, Caden Tufts, as we took an on-board ride there. Kynan, I got one more question for you. We'll let you get back to racing here. Is there a certain spot in the corner that you want to hit, as we're watching the battle for the lead right now between Johnny Eckert and Caden Tufts, where you want to let off and get back on in the corner, as we see Johnny Eckert's going to try to overtake Caden Tufts right now, Kynan? But I just wanted to ask you that question as we're taking a look at a battle for the lead. Is there a particular spot in the corner where you want to let off and get back on, or is it just, lap by lap, you're trying to figure out your spots?
Well, right now for me, I'm just trying to experiment. I'm not very good with these cars and on this track, but I'm good with other things. So just doing some experimentation and seeing where I can find more time. And ultimately, I'm losing some time from just having burnt up tires, but just experimenting, and hopefully we'll be there in the end of the race.
Awesome, Kynan. Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us, man, and good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, cheers. Maybe talk to you later, hopefully.
Yes, sir. Cannot wait. And that was Kynan Jones, who was very graciously joined us mid-race there, Tim. As we were talking to Kynan there, we saw a battle for the lead take place, but it seems to have simmered down just a bit.
Whoa!
Oh, man! I was going to say, with that battle, the 26 of Cherry came up there. But now you see, or
That
was
was
that
my
my
hand.
hand up there? Yeah, my hand was up there battling. Came out of nowhere, just shot that gap and realized, oh man, I got too much speed. Looking like speed wallables on a skateboard there, Tim. Now drifted back to about the 4th position. But that battle for the lead lasted for just about a couple laps there. Just simmered down once again there, Tim.
Yeah, and, we're seeing a lot of these guys. They're getting exactly what Kynan said. They're getting a little loose in the corner. That might show that they're getting those brakes just a little bit. And he said that is something you don't want to touch. As we go back up to the front, side by side yet again. He said that this is going to get very interesting right here because we've had some green flag run, and we've seen these guys are now getting loose. They've got their hands full, and this is what we want to see here tonight.
Yeah, no, you see the squeeze being put on from Johnny Eckert there.
Whoa!
Really trying to keep.
I think they touched.
Yeah, they did. They touched it a little bit. As you saw Caden get a little sideways there, but the skillful driver that he is, he saved it. As now we're going to cross that line here at lap 24. Just about almost halfway through this thing, Tim. We're on lap 24 of 80 here, creeping up towards halfway. But with that action, we still have Johnny Eckert heading down the backstretch as the race leader. Caden Tufts right behind him as they dig down into 3. And right now, Johnny Eckert's trying to keep Caden on that top side because he knows he's going to squeeze him again on that top side. He knows Caden on the top is slower around this track here tonight. He's trying to keep Caden from the bottom because that's where Caden is most comfortable as we're coming around to that backstretch.
And it's so difficult when you got a race like this for the lead. It's so difficult for us as broadcasters to look through the field and see where else the battles are going on, because this right here, anything could happen with the leader. They could get loose and both just crash, and then that would put Cherry into first place and my hand into second. They are just neck and neck right now, barely giving each other any space. You would almost think that this was the final lap.
No, they've been battling since lap 1 here, Tim, as we're going to hit that line right now on lap 26. They're still battling it out. But past this, Tim, a lot of names have crept up into that top 10 that we talked about to start this broadcast off. We got Seth Rollins up there in the 5th position.
Yeah.
My hand, we saw, if you were watching live with us here on 10-4 Broadcasting on YouTube, my hand shot the gap there to get up there. Sherry's up there as well. You got Marshall, who we saw head down the pits early with Mike.
Oh,
Kaminsky
Kyden's in the wall. Or Caden. I'm sorry. Caden Tuff's in the wall.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna try to get us to go back and see what happened here. Oh man, there it is. There's a replay of what happened.
Goes to the inside on 4. Johnny Eckert sends him up the track just a little bit, but not side by side, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Eckert was in front. Caden tried to follow Johnny up the track and just really ran out of real estate there, Tim, and unfortunately made contact with the wall. But now we saw that action happen on the track there, Tim. We'll see if we can't bring the man himself, Caden Tufts, in for a quick interview. Caden, this is Will and Tim up here in the 10-4 broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Man, we just saw you unfortunately make contact there on lap 26. Take us through what happened there and what led to that contact.
Tires, I guess. It wasn't working on the top and it just started to get tight on the bottom. I tried running it and just hooked straight to the wall, so I guess I had to come for the pit for repairs, but we're heading back out now.
Man, we saw you and Johnny battling out there since lap 1. One thing that I've noticed is Johnny is really trying to keep you off of that bottom side. Are you starting to feel that as well? He's trying to kill that momentum that you have on that low side?
There's not really much momentum here on the low side. I feel like it's more on the top. I noticed when I was on the top there, he would go low and then he would swerve back out when I put my nose there. But I mean, it's racing. Oh, okay. There's a caution, so I'm happy. But yeah, I noticed he is trying to break the draft. So I mean, that's probably going to be a huge factor here later in the race if I can get my lap back here and go make it all the way back up to the front. But I mean, if not, my main goal is to beat Seth here to get the points gain on him since he's second. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, speaking with Caden Tufts, last year's champion here. Caden, you started off the season really hot, if you will. You won the first 2 races of the season. You finished 3rd last week. What do you think it's going to take here tonight to put that, I believe you're driving the number 90 machine? Double zero. That's right. How could I forget? 0-0 on the car there. What do you think it's going to take to put that 0-0 machine in victory lane once again?
I honestly think from here on out it's just going to be strategy and being patient with the cars I need to get around and try to save it as much tire as I can and just strategy mostly.
Gotcha, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us here, man, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That was Caden Tufts, last year's champion there, Tim, and I can't believe I forgot his race number. We've called his name out so many times here. I may have forgotten his number because we've been calling his name so many times, but that's kind of a tricky start for him so far in this race. We're not used to seeing him get in trouble this early in the race or get in trouble at all, if you will.
Yeah. We are going to go back and take a look at that caution to see what happened here. It looked like it happened between Chris Gutierrez. We're going to do a slow-mo here. He's at number 99, yellow and black, mellow yellow. He was running up front. So I'm not sure what happened here. See, he's just behind the number 4 of EJ Marshall. Looks like EJ maybe come up into him. Yeah, just punted him into the wall. Not on purpose, but you know, same thing happened to Caden. Got into that wall, grips you, flips you up into the air, and unfortunately, that's all she wrote. Ooh, man, that was close.
Super save there from the 99. He hit those brakes so hard there, Tim, to save that thing. Man, what an excellent save it was out of the 99 machine. And folks, if you were tuning in or listening to these modifieds for the first time, these cars, in my opinion, are some of the best cars to watch, some of the best cars to drive in the series, but also one of the most difficult to drive there, Tim, and it's because of the open-wheeled concept. Any kind of little touch on the wall, any tiny little touch of another car on the corner, you get wheel locked with somebody, it's going to happen exactly what we just saw there on that caution. You're either going to get sent up into the wall, you're going to get sent up into another car, you're going to get loose. You really can't beat and bang these cars like a stock car, even though you have the stock car engine in these things.
Yeah, and while we're under caution, we're going to take a quick break, take a look at our sponsors for tonight, Admin Box and Weekend Woodsman, and we'll be right back after this.
Be sure to check out Tim Mayo Conrad and the Weekend Woodsman crew on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button to get notifications when a new video drops, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy the race.
And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, for we are currently under our second caution. Chris Gutierrez got into the wall a little bit there with a little help from EJ Marshall. Just some good hard racing, green flag racing at its best here at Iowa. The tires start wearing down, Will, and unfortunately it's just a product of what we have here, and it's not a bad product because right now we've only had our second caution, and right now Mike Kaczynski is currently leading with Eckert just behind him.
And that goes to show exactly what we were talking about to start this broadcast off here, Tim. If you get in trouble early in this race, we saw Mike have to use that fast repair to start off this race. You can really get yourself back into contention, and not only is he in contention, he's the race leader right now. We look at EJ Marshall as well, down in the 10th position. Another car that pit really early to start things off here. As you just talked about, once this tire wear starts to come into play, it's really going to be those cars on the track. They're going to see all the other boys pit and be like, oh, I'm good. My tires are still rocking and rolling. So keep an eye out on the 4 machine and the number 30 on the track right now, as they are rocking the most freshies on the track so far. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get this thing on and popping here once again in the Virtual Racing Association live from Iowa Speedway on 10-4 Broadcasting.
Paint schemes are reloading for some reason, but oh man, come on. Green flag is in the air. Mike gets a great jump there. Video is going to be a little jumpy for all the cars loading paint schemes, so I do apologize, but it will fix itself. And he gets a great run on the inside, and just a heads up, he has tires that are 32 laps older. He has not gotten down pit road since lap 5.
Right, but he has the most laps on those tires, so keep an eye out right now. But Tim, he's really going to have to forget about those tires and start thinking more about that gas pedal, as he's got Johnny Eckert on the outside of him right now in that 90 machine. And man, he just overtook Mike for the lead in less than a half of lap. He's going to swing that back fender right in front of Mike there on the corner number 4. On the exit, it's going to be Johnny Eckert across the line, and Mike's into the wall. He's into the wall on the exit of 4. Mike just slams into the outside wall, goes up onto the wall. That should bring out a caution on the track. No caution yet. We're still racing.
It may not, because he kept it going. Because we saw this earlier. When Caden got into the wall, he kept going. The thing was, the reason why the last caution happened was because the 99 had put on the brakes and stopped on the track. So that's what brought out that caution. If they keep it rolling, they're going to keep the green flag out.
There we go. The green flag is still out, ladies and gentlemen.
3 wide.
As we are at that halfway mark right now, as we are 3 wide right now on the exit of 2, heading down into 3. Man, Tim, this thing, everybody wants to win this race here tonight. Oh man, you see that 73 gets shoved up the track as you cross the line now on lap number 41.
It looks like Jones has some damage on that 73.
Yeah, still pushing it along. Watch out, boys, there, as the 73 is losing a little bit of pace there. You see Caden Tufts go flying by there in that 00. Caden Tufts
right there.
is eating. Yeah,
look at that front end.
Oof. Pretty
I wondered why he
there.
was dropping back. I wonder if he that's a result of what happened with Mike. And maybe he got into the back of somebody.
That's Kynan Jones there, really losing pace here on the track. He's rocking his nation's flag there on that windshield there, racing out of Australia. But right now, Johnny Eckert has now separated himself from the field. He's taking it easy like Sunday morning there, up on the lead all by himself there. he can take a look at that rear view camera and realize that he is free and clear of anybody behind him. But Tim, man, we're on lap 43 of 80. If he keeps at this pace right now, he's almost a second and a half separation between him and second place. Seth Rollins is in that second position right now. A driver I told you folks to watch out for to start off this race. It's really going to have to take another caution for them to have any chance at catching Johnny Eckert there in the top position.
Ooh, look at EJ Marshall going to the inside. Man.
Watch out here as we cross the line there on lap 45. Things are still heating up here, still battling for position, even though Johnny Eckert has separated himself there in the lead. Right now, Seth Rollins is in the second position. You got EJ Marshall right there in the 4. You got Mahan right there as well. Kenton right there in the 6th position. Jordan Tarble has worked his way up through the field as well, up into the 6th position. Mokawa is up in the 7th position. Sherry, who's racing inside the top 10 throughout tonight's proceedings, is now in the 8th. Carlos Acosta, Tim, a member of 3Y TV, is up into the 10th position. And there's a 00 of Caden Tufts in the 9th position right there. And that's going to be our top 10 as it stands right now on the track on lap 46, Tim. And even though Caden had a lot of encouraging words and confidence of climbing back through this field, it looks like he's having to fight a lot of competition to get up there.
Yeah, he really is. You know, at this point with these tires, it's not going to be easy for him. Like from here on out, he's going to have to fight for every single position that he takes, and that's what he's doing right here, trying to go to the inside of that number 33 of Nathaniel Cherry. Not able to complete that pass, got to fall back in line, and this is the cat and mouse game that he's going to have to play the rest of the night.
Yeah, he's trying to eat up this field like a shark. And speaking of sharks, if you haven't checked out our title sponsor of the night, Shark Photography, you need to head on over to Twitter. Hit up OBBG Star on Twitter right now for all those sim racing photography pictures that you can need. Tim, those pictures that he has done so far are crystal clear. They are the best shots I have ever seen of sim racing. You need to go hit them up right now on Twitter. If you're watching live with us here on 10-4 Broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, you'll see the back of that race car with his Twitter handle there. Go give him a follow. Hit him up for your sim racing photography. He is impressing everybody with his sim racing photos, Tim, his finishes, his in-race photography. Every time he posts a picture in these chats, Tim, everybody is just blown away. All I'm seeing is, wow, great photos. It looks great. It looks awesome. So definitely go check him out at Shark Photography.
Listen, he sent me the best picture I've ever seen of a pace car before. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why does this pace car look so good?
Yeah, so that's OBBG Star on Twitter. Go give him a shout. That's OBBG Star 73. OBBG underscore star 73 on Twitter right now. Go give him a shout right now as we're on lap 52 here in the Shark Photography 80 live on 10-4 Broadcasting in the Virtual Racing Association. But folks, it is the Johnny Eckert Show once again in that 90 machine, representing the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League to its fullest there. Really just showing the boys how it's done here at Iowa.
Yeah, he's really been able to pull this off. It's amazing that last week was his first week, and now he comes back here and he's trying to repeat for 2 weeks in a row. And I'm going to take a quick look at the points, if I'm not mistaken, to see where he is currently after that win. Looking. It's so hard. There's so many names that they're so hard to see. Oh, there he is. So his debut automatically, out of 32 people in the league, puts him in 21st place in points. 78 points back from the leader.
Yeah, he's really making himself known here in this series, Tim. And we spoke with Caden Tufts in week number 1 of the series, and we asked him because last year, he really dominated the series. Just to be frank, he had about 7 or 8 wins in the series last year. He was winning 3-4 races at a time in a row. But coming into this season, he really took a step back and looked at this field of race cars that we have week in and week out. And it was almost like an oh boy type of mindset there, Tim. Like, okay, now I got a little bit of competition. It's going to make it a little bit harder each week, week in and week out. And we've seen it, Tim. You know, he started off, won the first 2 races, but they were hard races to win there, Tim. He really had to work at it to get those wins here in this series. And then last week still had that podium finish with the 3rd place, but you see now he's down in the 8th position, really trying to battle through this field. If you look at the who's who behind him, he's got about 7 cars to get back up into that lead position. You know, you got Carlos Acosta, you got Nathaniel Cherry up there, you got Kenton up there, you got Myhan, who's been running really strong. You got Seth Rawls in the 3rd, EJ Marshall, who's come out of nowhere after making that early pit stop there in that number 4 machine in the 2nd. And of course, you got Johnny Eckert up there with about a 2nd and about 30 tenths of a second up there, leading the way. So really a tough field to climb through here tonight.
Yeah, and you know, earlier or a couple laps ago we looked and Carlos was behind him in 10th, but now Carlos is up to 7th and back around Caden Tufts. So I just don't think there's enough time for Caden Tufts to get to the front at this point. He would need a caution to bring everybody back to him, because right now last time went down pit road lap 33. We're on lap almost 60, so he's almost got 30 laps on this set of tires, and he's just not going to be able to complete those passes that he was able to do under green flag or under these long green flag conditions.
No, with no caution in sight so far here, ladies and gentlemen. I probably just put the commentator's curse on it right now as we cross the line here with 21 laps to go here at Iowa. You do want to appreciate everybody for tuning.
Go ahead. I'll tell you in a minute.
For tuning in here with us at 10-4 Broadcasting, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, or just listening to the audio version here with us. We do want to appreciate everybody for tuning into this league. They've done a great job of growing this field week in and week out. We got about 24 cars that started here tonight, and that just goes to the show of Tim Conrad, Jordan Tarbell, and all of the OG members here in the Virtual Racing Association. This league just gets better and better week in and week out.
It really does, and I want to tell you, the commentator's curse is gone. It exists no more, because Friday or Sunday night, for those of you that did not catch it, before qualifying even happened, I was in there for the big show, and I said, and just being funny, I said, everybody, just so everybody knows here, and they did 150 laps at Michigan, and you know that's a feat.
Yeah, definitely at that track, for sure. But now we've had a...
Oh, sorry. I said that
yeah.
Jamie Shaw was going to win. And who pulls off the win at the big show? Jamie Shaw, baby. So the commentator's curse is no more. It's over.
There you go, Tim. You've shattered that curse. We're no more hocus pocus over here. We're still rocking and rolling here. As you see, Edward Marshall, you know, even though he is a little ways away of Johnny Eckert, you start to see now it's starting to close just in the slightest there, Tim, with 17 laps to go. But the way they're flying around Iowa here tonight, eating those corn on the cobs inside of these race cars here, Johnny Eckert just seems to have everything possible here tonight. He's making butter, he's making popcorn up there in that race car. He's got no worries in the world. Once he cleared Caden Tufts, and Caden Tufts made contact with the wall, as we're now digging down into 1 and 2 right now with 16 laps to go, he really set himself apart there, and that lead still about a 2nd and 3/10 up there. It's really going to take, as we mentioned, a caution for this field to bunch back up. But the battles are really now for the top 5 position right now, as now EJ Marshall has competition of Seth Rawls and Myhan right behind him, trying to race for that 2nd position.
Yeah, Seth Rawls is doing a great job. Everybody's doing a great job tonight. If we look at our biggest mover, let's actually take a look at that. Up 18 spots since the drop of the green flag. That number 9 of Alex has been able to come from the back and be up at the front in a top 5, almost a podium. Only got to gain 2 more spots, and he would be there.
Yeah, he's trying to get up there as well. And I mentioned that to start this broadcast off, Tim. Doesn't really matter where you start in qualifying. You know, some of these drivers don't even take the lap in qualifying.
Yep.
It matters where you finish. You can climb up through this grid as the laps tick down. You can really solidify yourself inside of the top 10 or even inside the top 5. You know, looking at Seth Rawls up there, EJ Marshall, Michael Kenton's up there as well. Nathaniel Cherry started outside the top 10. You know, a lot of these guys have just done a great job of working their way through the grid now with 13 laps to go. and they're going to come away with a nice, pretty good finish here if everything stands.
Yeah, I'm just watching this battle right now between the 33 of Nathaniel Cherry and the 104 of Carlos Acosta. They are just fighting lap after lap. This is for 6th spot right now. Whoa, and he gets a little loose and tight. And now it's going to open the door for Caden Tufts to go to the inside.
And there goes Caden Tufts in that 00 to the inside there, making a pass on Carlos Acosta and that 104 as they're coming around corner number 4 here with 11 laps to go. And Carlos, as you just mentioned, overtook once again. Now you got Seth Rollins going to overtake EJ Marshall now for that 2nd position as they're heading down the backstretch. They're still kind of side by side heading down into 3 right now. As Seth Rollins is going to lead them down into 3 and 4 right now. This is the battle for 2nd place we're calling here. And right behind them, they got Mayan, who made a big move earlier in this race, Tim. Really faded back with that move. It was kind of like putting all your chips on the table. You didn't win it all. Maybe you might have pushed the bet. But with that push, it dropped him down on the grid just a little bit. But he's trying to finish with a podium here tonight.
Yeah, he really is. He's right there at the doorstep of EJ Marshall. And anything can happen here. These guys are battling really hard late in the race. And right now we're looking at about almost 50 lap tires here. Like this is no joke. This is not an easy feat. Oh, as you see, the 26 get really close to EJ, and they're just battles all over right now. You got a big battle back here. This is for 5th spot. Oh, and he gets into the back of Alex.
And that's going to bring out a caution, Tim. That's going to bring out the 3rd caution of the race here with 8 laps to go. This race has just hit the reset button. We hit that checkpoint. We wanted to go back and replay that level because we have reset the race here tonight. Johnny Eckert was up there popping champagne, eating that popcorn that he just plucked there out on the field. Thought he had this thing won here tonight. But, man, this thing just got shooken up more than a Yahtzee board. I tell you what, Tim.
That's a good one. That's sorry. That's a good. I like that one. That's probably my favorite. Go back here for the yellow flag. Let's see, where is Alex? We just came back here to watch this battle. And you see coming off the start finish line going down turn 1 and 2. Just gets in the back a little bit of that number 9. But he saved it. I don't believe that should have been a caution. And we need to go back live now because we have cars coming down pit road and cars not coming down pit road. Caden Tufts doesn't go down pit road. Carlos Acosta not down pit road. Nathaniel Cherry stays out. Dallas Mahan stays out. Johnny Eckert comes in. He's the first one in 5th place to come down pit road.
As we're under caution here, Tim, I'm going to bring down one of the names you just mentioned there, and Carlos Acosta. We see if we can't get Carlos on the radio real quick here as we are under caution. Hey, Carlos, you got a copy here? It's Will and Tim up here in the 10-4 broadcasting booth.
Hey, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Great. How are you?
Man, we are doing fantastic, man. Me and Tim were just talking. The race has basically just hit the reset button there with that caution. You're now up in the 3rd position. We didn't see you head down pit road there. Take us through why you didn't make that move and what are your chances here at the end?
I think I can probably do a repeat of last week where I stayed out. Although this time I did pit in the first caution. So I think I'll be a slightly better position, or I should say in the previous caution. It's fun to drive. I had 0 practice laps because I was doing fantasy draft at my local Chili's. My partner got a little too drunk and started fist fighting the manager.
Sounds like an Office episode.
But yeah. So I got home late. I was debating like even going in here with 0 practice, but I was able to run some practice laps during qualifying. Which is not really why I qualified towards the back, because that's me normally. But I'm a little surprised that I'm doing this well. I was able to find a little secret in how to maneuver the corners, and hopefully that can take me just enough to get to the end.
Man, Carlos, and taking a look here, we're talking with Carlos Acosta, who's up in the 3rd position. Carlos does a little bit broadcasting on the side when he's not behind the wheel of that 104 there. He does broadcasting for 3 Wide TV. Catch him tomorrow night for the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. And speaking of the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, Johnny Eckert was leading this thing there, Carlos, by almost about a second and 7/10 up there. What do you think is going to be the key to victory here tonight? Because you see Johnny all the way down in the 10th position, and you see some of these drivers like yourself that didn't pit. Do you think it's just going to be getting up to the top and holding position, or are you going to have to keep your eye out for Johnny Eckert in that 90 to climb up to the field?
I don't know. I'm banking on the fact that we won't get a caution, and it'll just be green to the finish. But yeah, it's I don't know. He's 10th. He might be able to do something. He might be able to get something going. I think some people stayed out on the previous caution, and I don't know how quickly they dropped back. But with enough people here staying out, like 9 drivers staying out, I'm hoping that that's enough for it to not be an issue for me in 3rd. I'm also hoping the leader picks the inside lane.
Awesome, Carlos. So you've done a heck of a job here racing. And Tim, I believe you had a question for Carlos?
Listen, I need to know your next Jeff Gordon paint scheme is going to come out on this hot rod.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't even planning on running here tonight because of the draft, but it took a little faster than we expected.
Wait. Next question. Who
Yeah.
was your number 1 pick?
My number 1 pick was... I figured I would be asked this at some point, so I had the app already preloaded. It has to refresh already. It was either Henry or...
Oh.
I think it was
Okay.
Henry.
We no longer friends. That's it. No longer. That's it.
I was the 5th of 10 picks.
Oh, and you got Henry? Wow. I'm actually surprised that fell to you.
Alrighty, Carlos. Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us here. As we're about to go, Green will let you go, and hopefully we speak to you soon, man.
All right. Good luck, guys.
Yes, sir. That was Carlos Acosta there, Tim. He's
Oh,
going to start
man.
up there inside the top 3. As we're about to get this thing on and popping here once again in Iowa, the green flag is in the air with 3 laps to go. Mahan gets a big jump in that 26 as you see Carlos in the 33 of Nathaniel Cherry going to battle it out, going down into 1. Big run from Carlos there, down into 1, coming around 2 right now. But a huge jump from Mahan up there in the lead as we head down the backstretch.
Go back and look at Johnny Eckert. He's in that number 90. Going to go to the outside lane. He's already up to 9th, trying to see what he can get. But the problem is, white flag is out. He's not going to
White
have enough
flag
time.
in the air. This is the last lap of the race here, ladies and gentlemen. Mahan in that 26 now leading the way. Carlos Acosta is in that 2nd position. Nathaniel Cherry in that 33 is right there in 3rd as they head down the backstretch right now. They are separated by just a little bit there. Mahan's going to take 3. Big run out of Carlos Acosta there down into the entry of the corner. He's going to try a move here on 4. Just not going to be enough as we're going to have a new winner on the course as Mahan's going to win their race there in that 26 with Carlos Acosta in 2nd, Nathaniel Cherry in 3rd. What a race it has been from Iowa.
Man, what a finish. And you know, these are the risks that you take. And I'm telling you right now, Johnny Eckert is regretting that decision. He wants to take it back. Because when you see that many people stay out, we had about 10 drivers stay out and not go down pit road. That really puts a buffer and really puts a damper on you getting back up there on those fresh tires. Because also you have to look at, Will, you've got a green, white, checkered. Okay, so you're going to take that green flag. Next flag is going to be the white flag. For tires to heat up and get to their max potential, you need more time than that.
Yes, sir. And talking about tires heating up, we're going to see Mayan burn it down there in the 26. We're going to have our 3rd different winner in the first 4 weeks of the season here in the Virtual Racing Association. And we talked about coming into the season about how the competition has grown stronger and it keeps getting stronger week in and week out. But let's talk about Carlos Acosta there in that 104.
Man.
He's going to go back-to-back weeks with a top 2 finish there. What a run it was from him in that 104. And Nathaniel Cherry coming through with that 33 as well. And I believe he started outside the top 10, so to finish 3rd here in this race. What a feat it was out of there, Tim. And you see Caden Tufts. He tried his best to climb back up into the podium and finish. He's going to finish 5th. You got Mokawa in 4th. Right now, you got Kenton in 6th. Conrad in 7th. Johnny Eckert, as you just mentioned, that 90 machine is going to finish 8th. You got Jones in the 9th position, and Mick Clean is going to be our top 10 there, Tim. And as you see the rest of the names, if you're watching live with us here on 10-4 Broadcasting, Seth Ross down in the 11th position, just to name a few. But what an exciting race. Once again, it was here in the Virtual Racing Association. I cannot wait to speak with our race winner in that 26. We saw him make that huge move there in those closing stages there, Tim. We thought it was going to be the end of the race for him as he drifted all the way down to about the 5th or 6th position, but he climbed his way back up through the grid to come home with tonight's win.
Man, it's what I told you. It was going to be a great race. And I want to remind everybody, we are off next week. So do remember that. We'll be coming back to Bristol in 2 weeks, September 13th. It's going to be a fun one, 130 laps there in the, what do I like to call it? I call it like the cereal bowl or the blender. You just throw a whole bunch of Maxbox cars in there and turn that baby on. But
that's it.
I'm going to go ahead and bring in our third place finisher, Nathaniel Cherry.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
I was mid-conversation.
My bad.
All good.
So, man, take me through your decision to not come down pit road on that last caution.
Well, pretty much every week in this league up until this week, I've been burned by my pit choices. The tires do wear on these cars, but honestly, track position is king, especially when it's only going to be a green-white checkered. So as soon as I saw people like Eckert and Rawls dive down, I knew this is my best shot to get a top 5, top 3, as it turned out. So I decided to stay out, and luckily enough, people stayed up behind me, and then luckily I was able to help Dallas, keep Caden behind me, help Dallas, my teammate, get the win.
Hey, you know what? And that's even great. Didn't realize he was your teammate. This helps you tremendously. When I look at the points up to week 3 is what I can see. So this is week 4. You, last week alone, you were sitting about 11th in points. You jumped to 5th in your finish last week. That's a huge help to you. You already have one top 5, one top 10 on the season. This is going to mark your second top 5, second top 10, and that's just going to help you, the guy in front of you, finish behind you. So that's also going to help. Ethan is in 4th. Brent Jones is in 6th. So you'll be able to distance yourself from him as well as gain on 4th place. And that's key, really, every week trying to get those points.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure you remember Gateway. I feel like I lost a win there when I pit. So that was a bit disheartening. But last week got the momentum back rolling, and now that we've got our team in the win columns, I'd like to get myself my own when we come back in 2 weeks' time. I think we have a week off next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great to have the ball rolling. Hopefully you can see me in the top 5 and maybe in the interview room more often. Before we go, I'd like to say thanks to Shift Esports. They're my only sponsor, I think. They're just my team. But thanks to Seth and Matt, if you're watching, for giving me this opportunity. It's been really fun.
Awesome. You got anything for him, Will?
No, I'm just impressed with Nathaniel's way to climb up through the field there. As I mentioned, I don't believe he started inside the top 10. I might be mistaken there, but
he started 7th.
7th, but still an excellent way to
Yes.
climb through the field there. Avoid the craziness that we've had throughout the race here tonight, Nathaniel, and can't wait to see what you have the rest of the way here in the Virtual Racing Association. And Shift Esports is lucky to have you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Looking for my... Oh, there you go. Okay. And, Will, I believe you've caught up with our second place finisher. Well, actually, you know what? I'll take him. I'll give you the winner. You want that?
Sure, I got you. Tim.
Whatever you like. Whatever you like. It's yours. Just ask.
We'll bring
I need to go to
in.
sleep.
I believe he is partying right now with that second place finish. He's a part-time gamer, full-time Peruvian. Carlos Acosta. He's going to go back-to-back with second place finishes here in the Virtual Racing Association. And Tim, we talked to him just a little while ago. He said with no practice and just like Alan Iverson, he comes out here and gets a second place finish because we're talking about practice here, Tim. Take it away here with our second place finisher.
Hey, listen, what was
Talking about practice.
what was the one guy? I think it was a coach for the Colts. He said playoffs. Well, I mean, Carlos over here saying practice. Like, who needs that? Just comes out here, uh, able to pull it off. Carlos, actually, I think you get the biggest mover of the race award. 17 spots
Yay!
from the back. Kind of take me through how you were able to just overcome starting in the back. Because, I mean, starting in the back, some of these tracks is just, it is whatever. But when you do it here in the modifieds with a field of 24 guys, what kind of patience do you have to put yourself through to get up to this spot at the end?
All right. Well, first of all, before I even answer a question, I gotta say, hey, look at you improving on the graphics. Nice job, man. I see what you're doing. That's beautiful. All right. Okay. So I started, I think 19th. I didn't like. I ran like one lap of practice as I put my car in gear by accident again. I ran like one lap of practice, and half of that lap was spent people telling me, why are you telling us to like turn left? Because I at some point flipped over my keyboard as I was rushing to set up my my wheel and everything. And so when I got on track, it was just spamming one of the number buttons, and it was just saying like help, turn left, help. And like I thought something was busted, and then I realized my keyboard was flipped over. And then practice ended, so I really didn't get any practice. I ran 2 qualifying laps, but they were, I think, the 3rd slowest of the people who ran a lap. And then I just had to realize I just got to run the rest of qualifying running laps, and really couldn't figure anything out. I knew I couldn't go full throttle the whole way. And then during that first run, I think it was like 20 or something laps. I was able to just slowly maneuver my way and kind of hang with the guys. Realized that I got to take it easy through the corners because it's very tight. And then as the tires started wearing out, I realized that if I just tap the brake just enough where the car would like kind of jerk a little and kind of point a little left into the entry of the corner, I was able to get a much better entry, and I was able to actually get back on the gas just a little bit earlier. So that was my secret, and that's when I started being able to really hang with the guys and start trying to make passes. It was very difficult to pass here. Yeah, that was mostly it. When the caution came out, I realized we still have just more than halfway to go.
And did you
I was being told my car is running away.
what
Hold on.
what's that?
No, I was just being told that my car was being was moving, but I held the brakes. Yeah, when the caution went down, came out, I went down Pear Road because we had more than halfway to go. Changed all tires, although I only really needed to change the rights because the lefts don't wear at all. And then I struggled on the restart. I hit the corner, or I hit the apron just a little. Got my car just a little bit loosey-goosey. I was able to save it. Thankfully, Brent Jones, my man, did a fantastic job to not hit me. And we kept on going. Caution came out a little bit later, and then I got in the rhythm.
Awesome. And what made you decide to stay out over going down pit road when a lot of the top 10 was going down pit road?
I figured we weren't. I was banking on the fact that there wouldn't be another caution, and at first I saw only one car staying out, which was kind of me messing up. I didn't really want to be on the outside like last week, or second place like last week, where I could have started on the outside. And I kind of like froze a little, and then I saw there was a second car in front of me that stayed out, and I realized I would have been third. So regardless, I felt like I would have been confident in a good spot. And yeah, I held on to it. I rode the brake just a little bit into the entry of the corners. Caden gave me a fantastic battle. I don't know what happened to him. He was behind me. And third place as well. I'm sorry, I can't remember people's name too much. Nathaniel, he was in front of me for that last run, and I could not get past him. It was that hard to get past. Thankfully, because of the caution and pit stops and people going down pit road, I was able to get past him. But wow, I lucked out again. I should not finish second. But I don't know. I kind of felt like if I had maybe a little bit more laps, maybe 1 or 2 more, maybe I could have. I don't know if I would have done it, but maybe I could have hit the back bumper of the 26. Maybe got him a little scared. Maybe press the old L2 to intimidate. But thankfully, none of that occurred, and the race ended. Otherwise, maybe I probably would be getting a lot of hate.
Hey, the bump and run, baby. Everybody loved it when Earnhardt did it, so I support it. But again, congratulations on your second place finish. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank the league again. Another fantastic race. Definitely, this was a little bit more cleaner than last week. Of course, it's a bigger track, as expected. The green flag runs were amazing. The drivers were able to hold their lines whenever people made mistakes. They owned up to it. So got to thank management taking care of business again. Got to thank you guys. Another great broadcast. I'm gonna love to watch it tomorrow when I get a chance. I just got to thank the people who I was drafting with for actually not taking too long of a time.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Second week in a row. We're off next week. Come back to Bristol. Maybe you'll make it 3 in a row. Maybe it'll be a win.
I'm not sure. Or maybe. I'll see, depending on if I have band practice or not.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Carlos, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Maybe. Awesome. Well, that was Carlos. He has come in here and thrown up back-to-back deuces. That's for him in the points. Let me take a little quick look here. Carlos is currently sitting. He has seen if does it tell me how many races he's ran? So he's had 1 start. Last week was his 1 start at the Milwaukee Mile. So he is sitting P22 in points. This is only going to catapult him up into the rankings, because you look at people that he finished ahead of, Timothy Conrad, Adam Peeler, Jordan Tarble, Chris Conrad. Like, there's a lot of people he's about to jump past.
Oh yeah, definitely, Tim. And going back to back here, finishing in the second position, man, it's gonna really catapult him. But as he mentioned, he might miss some races down the stretch. There has IRL things that might get in the way of his hot streak here in that 104. But I know one driver that is hot here on the track that really showed his driving skill throughout tonight's proceedings, and that's Dallas Myhan. We'll see if we can't get him on the radio. He is down in victory lane right now, busting open those bush lights, having a grand old time, eating some corn on the cob here at Iowa. Winning here tonight, the Shark Photography 80. We'll see if we can't get him on there real quick. And Dallas, I know you're down in victory lane celebrating this huge win at Iowa, getting those corn on the cobs ready here. Man, big win here. You are our 3rd different winner in 4 weeks here in the Virtual Racing Association. Take us through your race here tonight and what led you to put that 26 machine in victory lane.
It was, for the most part, an uneventful race for myself. I was top 5 majority of this race, qualified 4th. I was hoping it would stay green after around lap 30, but we had caution. I was one of the few guys that took 4 tires. A lot of guys took 2. I was a little worried about that because the left sides didn't wear like I wanted them to. But thankfully, throughout that second run we had, it worked a little bit in our favor on the left sides. And I was stuck around 3rd place for that second half of the race, because once the right sides were out, if you're not on the outside, you're not really going anywhere around somebody. But it's nice to get a finish tonight. I had a few good races this year that went south. I'm glad I could pull one through tonight at Iowa.
Yeah, man, we saw that there. We saw you running inside the top 5, in the top 3. I'd say with about 20 odd laps to go, if I'm not mistaken there, we saw you make a huge move to catapult yourself, I believe, up into 2nd or 3rd. Take us through that move, and it almost looked like once you made that move, you may have had too much speed. You had to check up a little bit. You dropped back down to about 4th or 5th. Did you think, oh man, I may have pushed the limit just a little bit too far, my race is over?
Yeah, at one point I was about dead sideways in the first run. I just barely clipped that apron, and once these tires just get really, they're really wide tires, and you get off camber and this thing wants to go sideways. Thankfully I saved it, because I almost killed my teammate behind me. And I was luckily enough to catch up back up to 3rd place. And yeah, it was it was really great to race here tonight.
Yeah, man, it was excellent for us up here in the booth. We're speaking with Dallas Myhan, the winner here in the Shark Photography 80 here from Iowa Speedway. And Dallas, how surprised were you to see Johnny Eckert head down pit road? And did you feel like once he did make that decision that maybe this race could be yours there at the end?
Yeah, after that first run we had was about the same lap, about 30 laps or so. Passing was almost about impossible to do in the first 2 or 3 laps. You had to get at least a nice, decent run going. And even then, it wasn't gonna be good long enough for him to get up here 8 spots or whatever where he was at behind us. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about it. I just held off my teammate and Carlos, and just yep, it was pulled through and came through with a win.
Yeah, you definitely did that in impressive fashion there, Dallas. Take us through that last restart there, because we kind of watched here at Iowa here tonight in the Virtual Racing Association. It really came down to those restarts. If you were able to get yourself separated and really jump there out of those restarts, it really put yourself in a winning position. And for yourself, it really did that with 3 laps to go. You know, we saw you guys get a little close there on the backstretch. You were almost close there. Carlos had a little bit of a run there towards the corner. But in the end, it just was that 26 car crossing victory lane. Take us through that last restart and how important that was for you to put that thing in victory lane.
It was an interesting dilemma because P2 was my teammate. I had to sort of work with him, but also not work with him in the same process for myself to get the win. And I didn't notice till like the restart. That VRA doesn't have they don't use the new restart rules, the whole system they have for iRacing. I didn't know they used that. They didn't use that, which was my favor because not really used to the new system for iRacing. Thankfully, it was the old system for restarts, so I knew what to do. I knew I had to jump early because if I had that 20, no, sorry, if I had the 33 on the outside of me, turning turn 1, he would have passed me easily because going 2x2 entering a turn, the outside car usually gets the momentum versus the inside.
Yeah, you definitely had the momentum to cross victory lane here in that 26 machine. You get the win here at Iowa this week. Got a week off next week, then we head to Bristol. How confident are you heading into that race there, and think you can make it 2 in a row?
I do. I've had about top 5, top 10 speed all season long so far, and I know Bristol's is a whole different animal versus Iowa, but I do have confidence for Bristol. I had a top 5 running there last year in Osaka, and top 10 this year in Osaka. If these cars are completely different, but I do have enough confidence, at least around top 5 next week.
Awesome, Dallas. And with that win here tonight, as you are celebrating in victory lane, getting the win here at Iowa, being our 3rd different winner in 4 weeks here in this series, we'd love to give you that opportunity to shout out anybody that you have watching at home here live on 10-4 Broadcasting, or where folks can check you out there on social media.
Yeah, so I'd like to thank Shift Esports, SR Design, the Mohawk Foundation, you guys at 10-4 Broadcasting, Conrad for putting this league on, VRA. I got Twitter, but it's Dallas Mine iRacing. That's all I have right now, just for Twitter. And tune in Thursday night at 8:30 for Osaka. We're at North Expo doing a throwback race.
There we go, man. We cannot wait to watch you on Thursday night, as well as in 2 weeks here in the Virtual Racing Association. And again, a huge congratulations from us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, coming home with the win here tonight. You talked about how you're one of the most consistent cars on the track, and finally you're able to put that 26 in victory lane here tonight, man. And great job here tonight. And we cannot wait to see that 26 on the track once again.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. It was fun.
Awesome, man. That was Dallas Myhan, the winner here at Iowa, Tim. And what a race it was for him. He kind of talked about that strategy at the end. He was surprised to see Johnny Eckert head down pit road there. But once he saw Johnny head down there, he kind of knew, okay, my car is the fastest on the track. I know that for sure because I've been running top 3, top 5 throughout the race. As long as I can get that restart, put that thing in victory lane. And he did just that here tonight, Tim.
Listen, and that's what you got to do. You have to take those kind of risks this late in the race. Technically the caution came out with, I believe, 8 to go. Okay, but you got to think you got to catch the pace car, go around a lap. Then pits open for lead lap cars. Then pits open for lap down cars. Then you have about 1 or 2 more laps of pacing to get the cars all where they need to be, and then the field racked up. So that took us down to that green, white, checkered finish, and we couldn't have asked for a better finish.
No, not at all, Tim. And it has been great finish after great finish, great race after great race here in the Virtual Racing Association. As I was talking to Dallas there, we've had 3 different winners in 4 weeks. Nothing like what we had last season here, Tim. We had Caden Tufts basically dominating this league last season. I know Kynan Jones was talking about how, gosh, I mentioned Caden Tufts' name a lot. And now looking back on it, he might be right, because this competition of drivers here, this field, really, I hate to say it's kind of like taking the fire away from Caden Tufts just a little bit here, even though he did come home with a top 5 finish here. It's a lot of these new names that are kind of rising out of the crops, kind of, becoming corn, if you will, here at Iowa, really rising to the top of that stock here tonight. We got Dallas Myhan, we got Johnny Eckert now, with basically new drivers here in this league now with victories in this series. So it's really anybody's game here in the Virtual Racing Association.
Yeah, and little did I know that Carlos Acosta started his racing debut with VR8 last week as well, and he pulled off a second place last week, second place this week. So, what I love is there are drivers that are up here competing for wins, and just unfortunately have gotten bitten by Lady Luck. We'll call her that. Guys like, looking through the field, Jordan Tarbell. Chris Gutierrez was having a great race before he got caught on the wall and went up and ruined that race car. Seth Rawls was up here fighting for the lead, went down pit road. So there are a bunch of guys that, really, look at Alex Keaton as well. I know you can't see the statistics, but on my end, I can see he gained 17 spots since the drop of the green flag. That is not an easy feat by any means. You got a field of 24 drivers, and they're all great drivers. Able to pull off 17 positions is fantastic. And, I wouldn't be surprised if we head into Bristol, Will, with another new winner.
Thinking so there. And you hit the nail right on the head there. That's something that I mentioned to start this broadcast off. Watch out for those names that we're starting there on the tail end of that pack. And as you just mentioned, Nathaniel Carlos Acosta came from 14 spots up. A couple other drivers came from multiple double-digit spots up in this race to finish inside the top 10. But Dallas Myhan ate this race up like shark photography here. A shout out to our title sponsor here. He hunted down the field like Weekend Woodsman there, but he closed the show and controlled it like the admin box here tonight in the Virtual Racing Association. And Tim, I cannot wait until we're back on the air here in this series in 2 weeks' time.
Listen, this last season, this was one of my favorite series to watch week in and week out. Again, this season isn't disappointing by any means. It's even better than last season. Got some great tracks on the schedule. Quick rundown for those at home that cannot see the schedule that I see. We got Bristol when we come back, and the week after that we've got New Hampshire, and we've got Southern National, the Bull Ring, Nashville Fairgrounds, Myrtle Beach, New Smyrna, Five Flags. It's only going to get better as the season goes on. So, you're not going to want to miss a week. And if you do, you can catch it all right here at 10-4 Broadcasting on our Twitch, on our Facebook, on our YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, whichever one it may be. Share it. Invite your friends, family. We try to put on a good show for all of you. And from all of us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, we want to say thank you. Have a great night. And we will see you in 2 weeks right here at the Virtual Racing Association at Bristol. Have a great week.